And huh?
I feel like the lighting is fine.
Yeah. Yes, we are finally live. Finally, only about
An hour and a half late.
an hour and a half to 2 hours late. Yeah, but I since our plan is to honor Seth tonight, this almost seems oddly appropriate that we had a bender last night and didn't get up till 1:30 in the afternoon, and we're running late on this. I guess this is just his speed.
It's his style.
Yeah, yeah. You know that huh?
You're like stormed all day today.
Oh wow, yeah. So Seth has been active, and this is his thing. You know he'd be the one to have a crazy party, stay up all night, and then like slowly crawl out of bed like sometime in the afternoon, and the other guys would be like, dude, where have you been? Yeah.
And then he'd be like, look, don't harass me. I've got things to do.
You'll want like the hangover,
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes, and thank you guys. Yes, thank you for spreading the word and all that, because I know a lot of times it ends up being last minute, I count on people knowing. Okay, well, it is around that time, right? Because we get to it eventually.
And also, I want folks to know that part of the reason she's late is because she had to take extra time to help me, with my disability-related stuff. So
Yeah. A lot of things take longer when you're dealing with a wheelchair, and so. And I will say this: if you watch Family Guy, some of those jokes that they make with Joe Swanson, some of them are ridiculous, but some of them are uncomfortably appropriate.
yes, and I have to laugh my ass off as I'm blushing, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah. So. So at least one of the writers on that show knows about people with disabilities.
So the next time you people got to give me crap, just know that I may be drawing, but I'm real.
Yeah. Something like that. But yes, I hope everyone had a good week in the meantime. Yeah, we were up until about 4 o'clock in the morning last night. But the upside of that is I got a whole bunch of things edited and some other things taped. Come Monday, there will be a new Kemetic how-to guide up. And we got a whole bunch of extra material for outtakes last night. And, some people, you get caffeine in them and they get really weird.
Yeah, so it wasn't exclusively my fault.
Well,
We did it for you guys. We did it for you.
well, that and also that Gundam RX-78 model y'all put together.
Hey, some people have to learn how to think spatially with a hands-on thing.
Okay.
The Egyptians would have appreciated this.
Yeah, I guess last night you were honoring Ptah, and so now we're honoring Seth. Something like that. That's going to be our story here.
And we're sticking to it.
Yeah. So, okay. So now, and I so wish that I could switch camera angles so that you could see the look Darren gave me as I went to reach for, the ritual vase.
The cool waters are definitely that, people.
Yeah. Well, the better to cleanse ourselves with. So, these cool waters are upon our hands. They purify us as Tefnut purifies us. And you may even get to hear it in the camera as we pour it into our basin. Okay, yes. Hail unto you, Nutcheter. We come unto you without falsehood and without evil. Our purity is upon our hands. Don't flick it at me. Our purity is upon within our hearts. And we have cast out all evil that pertains to us.
But not mischief.
Yes, we are pure. We are pure. We are pure. We are pure. That's our story. We're sticking to it. Okay. Yes, and welcome as we go along. Welcome to everyone who joins us. Glad to have you here. And by the way, if either you're watching this live or you're catching it later, and If it would be easier to do this later in the evening instead of at 7:30 Central, then just let me know, because we'll fudge. Of course, the later it gets, for those of us like you, Yamanu, on the East Coast, it's going to be an hour later still. But if if we need to be flexible,
I'm quite flexible.
huh?
I'm quite flexible on time.
Yeah, and especially Friday nights is when you're supposed to stay up and be mischievous. Yeah.
Oh, and
Nice.
Yamanu, I want to congratulate you on your future engagement to Aquaman.
What?
According to Facebook, he's going to marry Aquaman.
Okay. Well,
I just figured I'd invite him.
I missed that story. I've been kind of away from Facebook lately, and it's funny, you move away from social media for a little while, you tend to get things done. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, let us light our candle. And this little terracotta holder that I put in a holder. This I actually got from an Indian grocery store, and I love it. It's so colorful. So it's got just the right size of a space in it for a tea light candle. So, come in peace, bright eye of Horus. Come in peace. Receive the light. The eye of Horus shines like Ra in the twin horizons, and evil hides in fear of it. Receive the light. The eye of Horus destroys the enemies of Ra and all of their abodes, till none remain. Receive the light. The eye of Horus comes, and we are purified with it.
Receive the light.
Yes. Through all the 4 directions. And back to center. Receive the light. See if I can bring it where you can. You arise in the Aketis Kofri, O Ra, spreading your light upon the earth. You set in peace in the mountains of Manu as a tomb, bringing your light to Duat. Shine upon earth as you do in heaven in Duat. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who came from Nun at the first time, for such is your uniqueness. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Hu at your left side, for such are the words you commanded. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who placed Sia at your right side, for such is your great wisdom. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, whose Hika goes before you, for such is your ability. Hail and praise unto you, O Ra, who rules with Ma'at upon your brow, for such is your righteousness. Hail unto you, O Ra, and hail unto you, O Sutekh, great of strength, and you Nutchuru, you lords of love and lords of life. Grant us life, well-being, and health. May our eyes perceive your goodness and our hearts receive your wisdom. May you shine upon us as you traverse the sky, that we may bring to you Ma'at and cast out Isvet. And may you guard us from the evil one through the dark hours of the night, your protection being before us and your strength being within us. Okay, here it is. Fresh bottle of water. Take these, your cool waters that are the inundation, that they may cool your hearts. O Ra Horaketi, O Sutekh, O Nutchuru, these waters are the eye of Horus, that your hearts may be refreshed. Milk, milk, may you taste it in your shrine. May your hearts be refreshed with it. We bring you this milk from the great flood, O Nachuru, that you may be purified with it. We give you incense. We give you incense, great purity. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. It cleanses you. It adorns you. It takes its place upon your hands. This incense is the eye of Horus. Its fragrance comes to you. Take this, your bread on which gods live. This bread is the eye of Horus, O Nachuru. Lift it to your faces and be at peace with it. And for Seth, we've got some kimchi. He seems to favor, foreign things, foreign cuisines, and I think Asian food seems to kind of be his speed. That's at least the vibe that I've gotten. So
He likes Egyptian food from what I've heard too, but I'm not sure.
yeah.
That's the rumor, but
Exotic.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's pickled vegetables and there's no creamy dressing, so
and it's cabbage.
yeah, so okay. And this particular wine is
About to get drank.
yeah, well, it's going to get offered fresh, huh?
We kind of have to be careful though offering him creamy things.
Right, that's why I'm saying, kimchi I figure is a better. Yes, it's a more polite offering.
Well, that's why the coconut cream cake belongs to me, as does the ice cream.
Well, anyway, hang
I
on.
have offered him lettuce, but I've always assured him that it's pure.
Yes. Yeah. I actually have some lettuce growing in the garden, and so he's probably going, okay, where is it, And I wanted it to be fresh. I didn't want to have it waiting 45 minutes and not be crispy. So
Got it growing in the garden too. So.
Yeah. the gardens prosper and Happy rejoices, overflowing with his meal. I fill the eye of Horus for you with wine, O Ra, O Sutekh, all of you Nachuru. Drink and be pure. The doors of heaven and the doors of earth are open with libations for you within this house. May your faces be refreshed with your libations, your wine, and your water. Okay. Flip back to... Go for our myrrh. Pure is Ra Horeketi within his house. Pure is Sutekh within his house. Pure is the Ka of Ra with this good Anshu that is given. Pure is the Ka of Set with this good Anshu that is given. Jehuti proclaims it. It is written in his house of sacred words. Hapi gives in abundance thousands of offerings, all things good and pure, for Ra Horeketi, for Suti, for all of the Nachuru. All things good and pure in every place that there are mortal Kas dwell. Come to your body, O Ra Horeketi. Come to your body, O Set. Come to your body, O Nachuru. Come to your invocation. Come unto us, your servants, who are mindful of your feasts and your offerings. Bring your power, your hika, your honor, and your ba to these your offerings, and partake of them. Okay. Tell you what. I'll switch out the natron because we're not using that just yet. Come, O people, raise these offerings before the faces of these gods. Lift the offerings before Ra, before Suti. All life comes from them, all health comes from them, all stability comes from them, All good fortune comes from them as it has since the first time. Ora Horaketi and your son, the Osir Nisu Nebkeparura. Your foes retreat from you. Horus turns himself to his eye. And I guess if we're going to be complete, we also have to mention that Seth also has an important part of his composition restored as well. So we ask the gods, turn yourselves to these your offerings and receive them from our hands. Because you see, in some of the offering reversions, they mention Horus's eye, which was injured and has become restored, but also Seth's testicles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, we usually don't invoke that, but since we're feasting him tonight, we want to make sure to know, yes, he has everything intact as well. Yeah, and some folks have actually made like little because there's another book that suggests taking a heart shape and like cover it in foil, because if you hold it upside down, it looks like up here.
Somebody's got too much damn time on their hands. I'm sorry.
Well,
that's not to say I don't heart my balls, but
see, it's fresh, raw, unscripted reactions like that I love. But to be honest with you, though, the idea of taking a heart shape and turning it upside down is one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. So that makes Valentine's Day a little weird. Huh, what?
You just offer a meatball sandwich.
Well, I don't know.
it's not mine balls.
Well, I figured just expressing the wish that he be whole and intact is probably the politest way to go. And ask that the gods share our offerings with the blessed dead, because once we offer to them, the idea is that they in turn share their bounty with the blessed dead who are in their realm. So that's where and I have a weird feeling that was there someone that we needed to honor? Not that I can think of, but at this point, if there is anyone that's passed on recently, then we ask that they be included. We had some anniversaries last week, and there will be some coming up next month. But that's, and I guess that's the way of things, and the way of the Force. Horekeru ta henket kakao apdu sinochirmahat kutnibet nafre wabet onket nochirim and kao en aku punibu ma keru nibu keru nachra. Voice offering of bread, beer, 1,000 of beef and fowl, incense, oils, and all good and pure things on which a god lives, for the cause of all of these aku, all true of voice before the great god. And just kind of peek over here real quick, see if anybody had. Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's an interesting thing. Wolf pointed out the whole thing with the truck testicles.
Yeah.
That you'd have the truckticles. That would be a really weird offering for Seth, but
There will be no truckticles in my house.
No. I'm honestly, but if somebody wanted to do that, I don't know. So someone else can try that and then report back on how it went. but hang on, I'm going to turn the volume down just a hair right here. So there we go. Okay. Well, we'll ring the bell for all of our aku. Okay. And, we'll replace our feather, a little duck feather that represents Ma'at. We come unto you, O Ra, as Jehuti comes, our hands joined under Ma'at. Ma'at has come to be with you in every place where you are. An offering of Ma'at is made unto you, that your heart may be pleased and your cause shall live. Truly your need has Ma'at, for they know you live in her. The Aeneid says unto you, your word is law eternally. Isfet is cast out by your word. Rejoicing is yours every day. Ma'at has taken her place in your shrine. I guess we'll put a little feather right there. There you go. May we always act with gentility and compassion for such as the first Ma'at. May we always offer charity and hospitality for such as the second Ma'at. May we always honor consent and fidelity for such as the third Ma'at. May we always avoid violence and promote wellness for such as the fourth Ma'at. May we always speak words of truth for such as the fifth Ma'at. May we always promote the public good for such as the sixth Ma'at. May we always act humbly and with temperance for such as the seventh Ma'at. May we always honor our gods and respect others for such as the eighth Ma'at. May we uphold Ma'at like Jehuti, that we may witness Ra's perfection every day. Okay. Slip over here. And, this particular festival is something that dates to the New Kingdom. It would actually be June 16th, but since it's Friday, we're saying, okay. It's not very often that you have feasts that are specifically for Set, but they did have them. And they were celebrating them even into the Roman period. So the idea that, Set had become, completely taboo by the end of Egyptian history isn't quite true. There were some places where he was still very highly regarded and was seen as, because he defended Ra, he was a protector against calamity in that context. And so, he was prayed to for prosperity, and for material wealth, and things like that. So, huh? That is entirely possible. Yamano was saying that the Romans may have connected Set with Mars. I think Montu got more of that, but I'd have to read that. A really, really good book. And there's a section that talks about Set because, of course, the Greeks associated him with Typhon, of course. But there's a book called Religion in Roman Egypt. And, it talks about a lot of things, rather surprising things that were still going on. And one of the things that you kind of come away from that book with is realizing that the ancient religion persisted for longer than, the early church history might have you think. But yes, the hymn that we put together to Set actually comes from things from the time of the Ramessides, because there was more than just two kings named Ramesses, but also a papyrus that dates from the Greco-Roman period. So, people were looking to Set for things for quite a while. Hail, O Sutekh, son of Nut, great of strength in the bark of millions. Chosen one of Ra Horeketi, bull who dwells in the northern sky. Fearsome one at whom all lands tremble. Great is your war cry, great is your might. Your wasp scepter stretches over the sky, you stand at the zenith of the stars. Lord of storms, Lord of dread, your voice is thunder in the heavens. You slay the fiend from the prow of Ra's bark. Protect us from evil and grant us long life. Of course, I also think with Set, it's a case of, you be careful what you ask for. If you, because some of the spells also invoked him as, someone who, hates a household well-founded, and things like that. And if you want to invoke that, then, be ready for everything that comes with it.
You will lose the trailer. Trust me.
You'll lose the trailer. Yes. So we, ask him, in his more positive aspects to,
Yes.
look after us and.
Never invoke the god of storms and ask him to undo your house. He will send Dorothy's tornado for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, I know we could probably use a little bit of rain around here, but just a little, so no, we don't need like hurricanes or something coming here. That would be bad. But I know there was someone who also was asking if we could honor Bast because he's going to be consecrating a statue to her.
Could I also ask what book you're reading from?
Oh yeah. Well, this is like my go-to here. Celebrating the Egyptian gods.
Who wrote it?
Yeah. Well, I did, and I'm hoping to be ordering some more copies soon that I can sign and put in my Etsy store. I was out for a while, but hopefully I can order some more soon so that they'll actually be in stock again, and you can buy them autographed instead of
support your church, please.
Yeah, but yeah. But anyway, so honoring Bastet as well. So. Inosh haras Bastet nebet merit nebet hank. Satatung tepia neberger necherita nebet pets. Henet nuchurunibu. Hail and praise unto you, Bastet, Lady of Love, Lady of Life. Daughter of Atum, firstborn of the Lord of all, greatest goddess, Lady of Heaven, mistress of all the gods. You open the movements of Shu, for he is your messenger. You slaughter with your arrows, you slay the evil one and seize the hearts of the wicked foes. Lady of the shrine, foremost of the sacred fields, mistress of perfume, mistress of joy. O Eye of Horus, O Eye of Ra, Uraeus whom Ra loves, protect us until the dawn. And who else has requests? Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I had a real quick question. Does Circle of the Sun have everything you need to work with Sekhmet and Ra if you must have a balanced altar? Well, Circle of the Sun, that book has like that's where I did like a calendar of holidays, and I've got things like rituals for the different phases of the moon and explaining the moon, a little bit about magic, a little bit about like if you wanted to do a self consecration, that's the kind of stuff that's in there. It's meant to focus a lot on rituals and some of the things that I talked about, like with the end of I do a little bit of history on like the end of paganism and then going into the origins of modern Egyptian paganism. So that's the kind of stuff that's in Circle of the Sun.
But celebrating the Egyptians' gods would be ideal.
Yeah. Actually, the book that I'm using here, I've got things for Ra, I've got things for Sekhmet, I've got all sorts of stuff. So yeah. But I was asking if anybody wanted to know, because it's funny. Circle of the Sun doesn't get mentioned much, but that's been like
they're both excellent books, though.
Yeah, that one's been really handy for me as well. But let me see, before we go and do our prayers and like requests for prayers, because I know I had some, and let's see if anyone wants to do a divination. Let's see. Prayer. Thanks for the storms. Yeah, prayer for Neat. Learning to knit. Thinking of that's kind of neat. Yeah, thinking of Neat as they're learning to knit.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and knitting is harder than it sounds. Okay, I can crochet, I can weave, but I can't knit. Or at least I couldn't when I tried it as a kid. This time says the polarities. I'll have to learn about who you're talking about, because I'm checking the comments, and that's something we'll have to do. Okay. Okay. Oh, and somebody's got a kitty that's sick. So yeah, we'll definitely ask Best to look after the kitty. But yeah, and you know what? It would be appropriate also to honor Neith because in the Old Kingdom she did have a connection to Seth. So that's something that I found out after doing some more research. So and I don't, unfortunately, I can't really zoom in on the altar so you can see things, a little better. I might have to try that one time and just have the angle be like a close up. But I did put a statue of a little figurine of Durga, with Neat, because I get, I had a really interesting dream where basically Neat and Durga were like, connected. So. And weaving and things like that were underneath patronage, so it makes perfect sense that we honor her for related things like knitting. Hail unto you, O Neat, the Great, the one who existed before existence, you who made all that is, who created all that exists, eldest of the primeval gods, fashioner of Ra, mother of Ra, who was at the beginning, unique one without equal, mistress of destiny, regent of fortune. Earth is under your command. One does not make plans without your knowledge. Queen of the gods in heaven, sovereign of the gods in the earth, mistress of the bow, regent of the arrow, who keeps the arrow demons under your authority. Mistress of great fear, who created the twin crocodiles. Life and death are under your supervision. You fill sky and earth with your beauty, light the lands with the rays of your eyes. You encompass your son as the light of the two lands. Father of fathers, who makes fertile the seed of gods and men. Great cow who nourishes all things. Mother of mothers who is like no other. Okay. Well, we definitely got some prayer requests, so I need to definitely mention those. And let us honor Bastet and Sekhmet and Neat and Set. Please look after those who look to you and who have gathered to offer you praise and thanks. I have to offer thanks for the good fortune that I've gotten this week because I started getting unemployment, so I will be able to get some things paid off. Hopefully. But, the dynamic movement of life means that, as some things are going well, there are other things that are, more challenging. And so we ask Bast, please look after our friend's cat who's not doing so well. May they recover. And please look kindly upon our friend Jory as he consecrates a statue to you this weekend. And please help, Yamanu's sister Shannon get a job that's not so tiring and not, minimum wage, because I definitely agree, minimum wage is, it's hard to make a living on that. And also, Shu. I need to make a new candle for Shu, but as the Lord of the Air, I think of him when I think of, weather, but also the breath of life and, taking care of someone with asthma. I definitely think about that because it's been so dry here. That's really hard on asthma. And so, I ask, the Son of Ra to please be with Darren and make sure that he always has that breath and may it always flow easily. And there's actually a very nice...
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to read something for Shu, actually. Because he has a very, very nice things. And this is from the coffin text, actually, but There's like a couple of spells that when you put them together, it forms this like a litany. And, I just found it very powerful. So, this is the Litany of Shu. I am he who foretells Ra when he ascends from the Akhet, that being the horizon. I put the fear of him into whomever seeks out his name. I am the one among the Heh gods who hears their words. I dispatch the word of the self-created to the multitudes. I am the one who captains the Sunbark and its crew. I am stronger and more raging than all the Aenids. I show splendor in accordance with my nature. I speak, and the Aenids are silent. I am he whose shape was exhaled, whom this august god created, who strews the sky with his beauty, whose name the gods do not know, the one whom the sun folk serve. And then it continues in third person. Shu is the one whom a tomb fashioned. His robe is the air of life. A cry for him went forth from the mouth of a tomb. The air opened upon his ways. He makes the sky light after darkness. His pleasing color is the breath of a tomb. Storm clouds in the sky are his efflux. Hailstorms and the dusk are his sweat. The length of the sky is his stride. The width of the earth are his settlements. All living things upon the back of Geb, by a tomb's command does Shu govern them. His life is in their nostrils. He guides breath into their throats. So, any more requests?
I don't have a request. I'm grateful for all of those here. I'm grateful for the gifts we've been given, and I ask that my job be extended.
Yes, but beyond the end of this month, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Imagine that. You're working a job, and it started out. It's going to be. I think it was originally supposed to be what?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, and they said, okay, well, we're thinking about making it permanent. Well, we'll make it to, for the next 2 weeks, and they were extending it like in 2 week increments. So okay, in 2 weeks, am I still going to have a job? Finally, they said, okay, well, a month. Well, you've got through this month, and then through June, and now we're like, okay, what's going to happen the rest of the year? We don't know.
I'm asking for them to start extending it by 3 months at a time.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Okay. Oh, so apparently there's another book called Circles in the Sun. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to see that. Okay.
You might want to type out a correction. Yours is Circle of.
Oh, no. So folks are already doing that. I was just kind of checking up because I noticed there were some more comments, and so I want to try and keep up with that and see, what's going on. Someone was asking, is it okay to work with one dot at a time, or more if you choose? And yeah.
Whatever works for you.
And I, okay, to kind of give my, perspective on this. Remember, we all grew up in a society that, whether or not people actually practice, it's geared towards monotheism and monotheistic thinking, and you kind of have to break yourself of that mindset. And probably what helped me was spending a little bit of time with Buddhists because, some of them are kind of atheist, that don't really look to a deity, but then you have others that are very polytheistic. And so it kind of shakes you out of that train of thought, and you reach the realization that, why do you have to focus on one God? Why does divinity have to be, a single source? It may have been at the beginning, but, as the universe expanded and diversified, why can't there be more than one? And who says you have to work with just one at a time? You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Me, I kind of feel more comfortable being able to have like a group conversation. It feels better, knowing that I've got lots of different, perspectives, as I need to come to them. So, okay. So, yeah, so definitely, we ask that there's some good things going on for people right now. We ask that those keep going as long as they possibly can, and that things continue to get better for others. I do have to mention, okay, happy Juneteenth. That's people are becoming more aware of the holiday. Oddly enough, I learned about it several years ago because the job that I was working at the time, there were folks that wanted to take it off, and I was working like I was filling in for people, so I said, yeah, sure, go ahead, I'll fill in for it, and that's when I learned that it was a holiday. And also the solstice is coming up. Oddly enough, the solstice isn't a big thing for Kemetic, for ancient Egyptian practice proper, but it's a big pagan festival with Litha. So I want to wish everyone a happy Litha, those that are celebrating it. So okay. Yeah. Hopefully that's giving you guys a little bit of new information, and so forth. And by the way, Darren stepped out for a minute. He'll liven the conversation up, in just a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and ask, for our benefit, if Seth would see fit, is to guide us to a bit of wisdom in the form of a cookie. And we'll do a little bit of divination and see what he has to tell us for the week. So, let's see. Okay. Oh, well, that's nice. That I opened this up and I'm sure I know this is for me, but I hope that it'll be true for other people as well. It says you and your partner will be happy in life together, and I guess that just goes to show that he what we were saying about invoking, the negative side of him. If you ask for, Seth to be positive, then he can, share blessings, like that. So that's awesome. Yamanu, you got any thoughts or any questions, like for the cookies? Okay. All right. Well, then, Seth, a chosen of Ra. What do you have for Yamanu? So, close my eyes as I reach for the cookie. So, okay. Well, here you go, Yamanu. The message for you: excitement and intrigue follow you closely wherever you go. Are you also having trouble with the neighbors? Okay, well, that's good. Oh, well. Okay. Oh, well. Well, excellent. So, hopefully more fun and hijinks. So,
Sounds like entertaining.
yeah. Okay. That's it. That's good to me. Oh yeah. Somebody's saying that you're in the early live-in stage. Yes, I can remember when we were at that point 22 years ago. Yeah, you learn a lot about each other, and you also when you're living with someone for the first time, this is a grand opportunity to forge something new together, because there are a lot of things that you don't know about, and if you make learning it an adventure and you learn together, then you're building something new out of the two of you, and I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about a life, and an egregore, if you will, that is the two of you, and that's always a wonderful thing, and goodness, and yeah, there's going to be challenges, and there may even be points where you go, okay, well, why did I sign on to this? But I think another thing to realize is when learn to recognize when the stress you're having is because of just the situation, because there's some things that with us, because I'm talking with someone who has a boyfriend, and they're in that early live-in stage, and yeah, and you have to realize sometimes when it's okay, it's a money issue, or it's something else that's not the two of you.
Ask yourself this question. If we weren't in the middle of all this change, all this difference,
Mm-hmm.
would this issue exist?
Hmm.
And if the answer is no, then the issue has to do with the situation, not your character.
And not your partner.
And not your partner.
Yeah.
One of the toughest things we must learn is your way is the right way. Their way is the right way for each of you. But there is no more each of you. There is us, or there is nothing.
Yeah, there's how are we going to do this together?
Yes, you learn our ways,
Mm-hmm.
not your ways, and not his ways or her ways.
Yeah, and I have to say, because I think about when I was living at home, when I was living with my parents, and I was in a lot of ways a different person than I am now, and a better person now because of the things that I have a better life with you, Darren, and I've become a different person after 20 years with you, and I much prefer it that way. So
thank you.
Yeah.
I have a life because of you. Before, it was just getting along in other people's worlds.
Yeah. Because it's funny. I opened a fortune cookie while you had stepped out, and it said you and your partner will be happy in life together.
Hooray!
Yeah, and this coming from Seth, so.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I've asked him to watch over our place a lot and protect us from the things that are in the dark that we don't see that he does. So.
Thank you, boo.
Well, that was awesome. So.
Was that our only cookie we pulled?
Yamanu also asked for one, and
Did we pull his yet?
yeah. It's excitement and intrigue follow you closely wherever you go.
Of course, he's gonna marry Aquaman. I saw that.
Yeah. And I'm going to reiterate because I know some folks didn't tune in initially when I mentioned it, but one of the things that we did staying up late last night was I edited some things together, and there's going to be a new episode of the Kemetic How-To Guide Coming up on Monday. So we wrap up our reaction videos.
And I want everyone to know that these videos will be very different. They were very serious and intellectual in tone.
And you're being completely like deadpan sarcastic with that. So
I don't know what you mean.
It's interesting. Oh, okay. All right. So there's some other questions. Ask how. Oh, what do the deities want you to know about your twin flames? That's your approach. Okay. All right. So for Ivy, we're going to do another divination and see if they have a message for her about her partner. Since well, June is the month, the traditional month of weddings. So.
In every culture, or just this one?
Just ours. So I'm thinking, because of all the other things that are a theme in the month of June, romance being one. So that seems to have come up tonight. So I'm gonna kind of shake it up a little bit and see what's gonna come up. Okay, I think this one. Let's see. For Ivy, what message do you guys have? Okay, and it says, if you love something, set it free. If it returns, keep it and love it forever.
If it doesn't,
then
it never was.
Right. So that I think the house and the specifics of that, I guess you'll. Just follow your instincts. You'll figure it out. But if you love something, set it free. If it returns, keep it and love it forever. So hopefully that helps. And let's see what else. Oh, this is so accurate. So cool. Yeah. Okay. And the thing about communicating like via statues, or through, various means, for each person it's going to be different how you communicate with your gods,
right.
And that's because everybody's gifts are different, and sometimes some of them have spoken to me in dreams, but others, it's like I just, I'll see things like I know that the Toth, Jehuti is kind of active, in something because, I'll see like a great blue heron, or a white crane, and I'm like, oh, okay. I actually had one land in the backyard, like in one of my trees, a few weeks ago, and I was like, and I think Jehuti is trying to tell me something there, because that's a tote. Kind of like a totem animal. We don't have sacred ibises here in North America, but similar birds, so that's how I know, but different things. Just as you learn to develop your own gifts, you'll figure out ways to communicate with them, or get messages from them, and it's just one of those things that it's part of the journey of life is learning to hear and recognize when you're getting subtle hints. I can say that I'm definitely better at it now than I was 10, 15, 20 years ago. These things develop over time. So, but okay, by signs. Eventually, know when they're saying, and so some of you, unfortunately, I don't often have really vivid and story-like dreams. Darren will, and he'll wake up and say, oh man, I dreamed about, he had an interesting dream one time, and Renutet was feeding him, like at a picnic, and it sounded like it was pretty hot too, so I was like, well, obviously she likes you, but I don't get the things like that most of the time. So.
not complaining.
Yeah. But I just figured that was, her way of saying that we would be taken care of.
Hope so.
Huh? Yeah, I think they do. Well, Yamada was saying, sounds like the goddesses like you.
I'm grateful
Yeah.
and humble.
Well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then meanwhile, I'm thinking of poor Morgan, who, last night was saying, God, you two are like teenagers in the back of a car that can't keep their hands off each other.
Wait till the Feast of Maine.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? That kind of happiness is what I wish for everyone. I wish for everyone to find someone that they enjoy their company so much that 20 years later they're still flirting like teenagers.
24. I want every year counted for.
Yeah. Yes.
We've earned it.
It's 24 years later. That's right. Next year would be 25.
Next year is 25.
Yeah. But.
Are we talking what time?
I said, okay, well, again, somebody's asking about Santa Muerta, and that's Santa Muerta is,
I know what Santa Muerta is.
That's she's not honored as a Kemetic deity, but if you wanted to incorporate that into a practice, I don't see why not. I think
Lots of Catholics honor her in spite of being Catholic.
Oh yeah. Well, there's even a rosary to Santa Muerta.
Oh sure.
So yeah, it seems to me that Santa Muerta and Osiris would probably, vibe together pretty well. So I mean that's just some food for thought maybe. And I realize there are some Kemetic pagans that are very specific about not mixing pantheons, and if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. But if you are, then why not? Just try to get a sense for who matches with who. Like again with Durga is a Hindu a mother goddess and an aspect of the original source of divinity, and so with Neith as a female aspect of the creator, as a creator goddess, they seem to gel together rather nicely.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's another combination that doesn't seem too surprising to me at all. But owls and skeletons. Okay, yeah. Well, if you're seeing owls and skeletons, then give that a shot. And I would say if you're wanting to work with Santa Muerta, get to know where your local Mexican grocery store is, because you'll find lots of candles to her and things like that. Because there's a couple of them in our area that if you know what you're looking at and where to look, you can find all sorts of things for Santa Muerta and for other
and if
Santa
you
Rita
see
things.
anyone with a tattoo of Santa Muerta, be nice. Quick.
Be nice to them, yeah.
A lot of them are gang members.
Well, actually, some of them are also. Santa Muerta also protects like sex workers.
I know that.
And stuff like that. So
But be nice to all of them, because they may be in situations that require them to behave in ways that could be unnecessary if you're rude.
Yeah. Well, it pays to be nice to people.
Yes.
Just as is. So, okay. Well, unless some folks have got some other questions, I don't want to keep us, going all night, even though it is lots of fun and we probably could.
Hungry.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's time that we partake of the offerings and let everyone get to whatever we're doing because we're about at that point. It's about an hour. So all right, guys, let's go ahead and say our prayers to make the offerings endure, and make sure that we can come back next week and do this again. Hail unto you, Atum! Hail unto you, Khopri! You come into being upon the primeval hill. You shine forth upon the shrine of the phoenix in Unu. You breathe out Shu and Tefnut. May the giving of these offerings endure as the name of Atum, foremost of the great Enid, endures. May they endure as the name of Shu, Lord of Upper Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Tefnut, Mistress of Lower Menset in Unu, endures. As the name of Geb at the earth's Ba endures. As the name of Nut in the shrine of Shenit in Unu endures. As the name of Osir Kentiamentiu endures. As the name of Aset in Nejeru endures. As the name of Sutekh in Nubet endures. As the name of Horus in Pe endures. As the name of Wajit in Dep endures. As the name of Jehuti in Kamenu endures. As the name of Ra in the Aket endures likewise for eternity. You have come in peace, O Ra. You have come in peace, O Sutekh, O Necheru. May you go forth in peace, O Ra, O Sutekh, O Necheru. May you go forth in peace to every place where your immortal cause wish to be. May you sail in joy in the Menjet bark and rest content in the Sektet bark. And may you smile upon us, your humble servants. Well, thank you again, guys. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for all your questions. This is a chance to get together to celebrate and to learn from each other. And, be looking forward to a new episode next week. And, hopefully more good things will be coming our way. So.
Bye, guys.
Keep going all night long. That's okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Okay.